I have a book in me. This is my friend, my brother.
Thank you, Kelly and Oliver.
I'm a multi-award winning best-selling author.
If you want to start a new business, I suggest you write the book on it.
God woke me up at 2:30 in the morning and I wrote a book.
Some of you got books already. Some of you got novels already.
The lead generator is the book.
You write a book, you leave a legacy to your children.
And I hope you guys listen to these guys so they know what they're talking about.
I'm the publisher, Mr. Kelly Cole.
And I'm the writing coach, Dr. Oliver T. Reid, the relationship architect.
Welcome to Books-N-Brothas podcast. This dude done added another segment to his name, right?
Hey.
I'll tell you, this is the podcast. I'll tell you. Second episode. Welcome back, bro.
Welcome back, man. I'm glad to be back. How about you?
Man, feeling good, bro. Feeling good. As you can see, one of the things I wanted to start off with was, like, we talked about it in our first episode of how we believe in just getting things going. Like, you don't have to get it right. You just got to get it going. If you notice, if you're watching the podcast instead of listening, you will see an upgrade in my camera. Right, bro?
Thank you. Thank you, man. It looks great.
But we didn't wait. We got the first episode out. I didn't care about the camera. We got the first episode out with episode 2. And guess what? We're going to keep getting better because we're going to keep adding stuff to it to make our production better, to make everything better. But my bro just happened to have this HD webcam laying around the house. He had to do some searching for it. His wife moved it. She didn't know where it was. And but here we are. He mailed it to me, and here we are, bro. So how was your week, bro? Tell me a little bit.
My week has been great, been very productive, been grinding since the beginning of the year. So I'm feeling really accomplished because there's some things I wanted to knock out on my list, and I got it done. So feeling accomplished.
Feeling accomplished. Good stuff, man. Same thing. Like I said, just been grinding, doing a lot of work, just doing some checking off the list. Like, I create to-do lists, so I always have in my mind what I need to do. So my week has been going pretty good as far as, like, just getting stuff done. So, but yeah, man, glad to be here, man. Glad to be here another week. And let's be consistent with this thing. Let's pump this thing out every week. You committed to that?
Go, man. I'm ready. Pump.
All right, cool. So this was your topic. You came up with this topic for the week. And the topic for the week is myths about writing and publishing a book. So I'm going to let you take it away. You're going to start it off, and then I'll share a couple of the myths that I hear about writing and publishing a book.
Awesome, man. One of the greatest things that I found out, and I'll start with this quote: the worst thing you can do to anybody, I would say, Kelly, is to miseducate them.
Yes.
You know, better not to even educate them at all than to tell them that 2 + 2 = 8. Right? Yeah. And I think that happens a lot of times when talking to people. I know you get questions, and people come and they have all these myths about books.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes they don't get a chance to get out of their own way because of what they heard, how the book process works, what they need to do, and it just sometimes can be overwhelming. So I thought this topic would be good because as we go around the country, man, and as we talk to people one-on-one, there's so many different things that they always have this aha moment, like, really? I was told X, Y, and Z. So I think this podcast is really going to dig into some of those myths and some of those stereotypes. Yeah. And so I would even say even stigmas that will hinder a lot of writers from getting their book done because they already have been taught wrong.
For sure.
So we're going to cover some of that. So that's the biggest thing. When writing your book, you have to kind of clear the air. Talk about that a lot in our workshops. You got to clear the air in the atmosphere and get a right mindset. So hopefully tonight you'll walk away with the right mindset of how to write a book. So I was going to jump in with one of the myths that I hear all the time.
Perfect. Yeah, jump right into it.
All right. One of the myths I hear all the time is that you have to have everything together. You have to have everything together before you even start to even write. And what I mean by that, you got to have your topic, you got to have your outline, you got to have everything together and everything collectively in one place before you start writing a book.
Yeah. So elaborate on that. So, like, why is that a myth?
Yeah, because one of the things that you hit on it earlier, we said from last week, and you were even talking about the camera, sometimes you just got to get started. You got to write something, even one sentence. I always say this, that a word will lead to a sentence will lead to a paragraph leads to pages leads to a book.
That's it, bro. That's it. You always had these amazing one-liners. I love it. Say it one more time for the people who didn't
Like a word turns into a sentence turns into paragraphs turn into pages, and pages turn into books.
Yep, I agree.
So you don't have to have all of it together. It's that one step. The longest journey starts with that one step. Just get started, get going, start writing. And different ways that you can write it out. We're not going to talk about that tonight, but there's so many different ways that you can start doing that. But I have people already saying, well, I need to have everything together before I can even get my book done. And you can't, it's not any way possible to do that. You have to do it in steps. You have to do it in sections, and just that one small word. Write that word and celebrate while you do that one word.
Yeah. I mean, great point. Because that's a lot of times, as you know, like in us, we get, inspired by so many different things. So I'll start making little notes in my phone. And like you said, starting with that one word or that sentence or that thought, and it ends up being a book, or it ends up being an ebook just by me starting. And I never know what that thought or what that little spark of idea is going, spark in me. But like you said, the key thing is just starting with the one word and just writing. Like, I think a lot of times people put too much pressure on themselves, man. Like, to just start. Like, think about it this way. It's just you and your computer. Like, nobody, when you're starting out, nobody is looking over your shoulder. You don't have a teacher that's going to be grading it. It's all you. So before you turn it in to your editor or to a publisher, you will have a chance to look through it and make sure what you don't want in. You'll have a chance to rework things or do whatever you want to with it. So like you said, the key is just to start with one word. So, all right, you shared one. I'll go ahead. I guess I'll share one of the myths that I hear is you have to be an expert. Okay. I'll say this. Whether you know it or not, you are an expert in some way or some field. And I'll tell you how. Even if you work a job, they are paying you for your expertise in, executing that job.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like, they're paying you for your expertise. All right. Now, I'm going to take this a step further, like how I wrote my first book. I was not the expert. So I wasn't a millionaire entrepreneur, but I interviewed experts. So you don't have to be the expert. You can interview expert in any field that you want to write a book in. And guess what that will do for you? That will give you a transfer of credibility.
Right.
Okay. So after I wrote the book and interviewed Damon John and Barbara Corcoran, it gave me a transfer of credibility of Shark Tank and Damon John and Barbara Corcoran. And people began to look at me differently because all I did was interview 2 expert millionaires and turn it into a book. So you don't have to be the expert, but I do suggest if you want to write a book in a particular field, or you want to start a business in a particular field, I suggest you write a book because the book will make you be perceived as the expert. So that's myth number 1 from me. So number 2.
Let me go back there. You said something's going to make me take my glasses off.
Go ahead.
Writing the book makes you become the expert. Can you elaborate on that? Because that man made me take my glasses.
Because, okay, I put this quote out on my Instagram. He who writes the book is the expert.
Wow.
So we share this in some of our writing workshops, this tip on, hey, if you want to be the expert, like say if you go into a networking function, right, bro? And they say, what do you do? And I say, hey, I wrote the book on book publishing.
Right.
And then they're standing there and they was like, really? And I can pull up on Amazon, or I can have the domain name, the book on bookpublishing.com. I can own that domain name and say I wrote the book on book publishing. What are they immediately going to look at me? I am the expert on book publishing. So so he who writes the book is the expert.
Love it.
Period.
Man, I'm gonna jump in with my second myth, man. That was really heavy. Yeah, man. I hope y'all taking notes. That's a disclaimer. We always say take notes while this podcast is rolling.
Or you can run it back. They can run it back.
They can press pause, right?
Yeah.
Technology. Yeah. My second myth is this. I hear people all the time coming to me, Kel, bro, and say, listen, I would write this book, but everybody got a book talking about it. Everybody's doing it. What's going to separate my book from somebody else? And I'm not going to do anything that hasn't been done before. So I'm going to piggyback on that. That's the greatest myth. Just because you've done it, it hasn't been done before.
Yes.
Right? There's 1,000 pizza joints. There's 1,000 hamburger joints, but there's one coming out every day. And I always tell people the secret is your secret sauce.
Yes.
McDonald's got a secret sauce. They might taste similar. Wendy's got it, but they have owned it. Like you said, becoming that expert to put it out. So your story matters. And when you do it, you make history. It's history or sistery, whatever. You are doing something that's going to be totally different. Even if it looks like you, barks like you, it's not you. So that's the most important thing I want to talk about. That's something.
True. I always tell people this too. Like, nobody has your anointing. Like, nobody has your perspective, your gift, and the way that you interpret things. And you may have a gift to break it down in a way to reach a certain group of people that this author who wrote about the same topic, they're not going to be able to reach. You know what I mean? So we relate to different people. So there's going to be people who listen to our podcast and don't like our podcast. You know, we're too goofy. We're too loud. We're this, we're that. But there's going to be a group of people who flock to us because we're real brothers and we just have fun. Like this conversation, bro, they don't realize, like, a lot of these conversations that we're going to have on this podcast and that we're having now, we have going down the road, like driving. Like, so, like I said, this is just knowledge. This is our expertise. There's a bunch of podcasts that talk about book publishing and book writing, but they're not coming at you, and they're not the Books-Brothas.
Brothers and books.
The brothers and books. We're going to get some suits. Books-Brothas. So, but yeah, man, so love that myth. Like, that's completely, you know, valid. Like, don't worry about it. Like, share that, talk on that particular topic from your point of view, from your perspective. So I agree. All right, I'm gonna share my next myth. Let's see which one we're gonna go with. All right, I'm gonna go with it takes a long time to write a book.
Good.
That is a huge myth. And the reason I say that's a myth because people think that it takes a long time because they look at the book as this huge mountain. Like, they got to write all of these words. They got to write, 10, 12 chapters. Like, you shared it in the first podcast. Like, you don't have to be finished to be finished.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to finish to be finished. And I always simplify things. And when I tell a person, when they talk to me about writing a book, I always tell them, say, hey, just focus on, if you just focused on writing 500 words per day.
Wow.
Just 500 words per day. Like, whatever your book is about, whatever topics that are in your book, just pick one that you can write on that particular day. If you just focus and you concentrated and you made a commitment, like, for 20 days, all I'm going to do is write 500 words per day on this particular topic. Bro, in 20 days, you'll have a 10,000 word book done. It's that simple. So just taking it and chopping it down into small bites. Like, just say if you wrote 100 words, okay, 100 words per day, 20 days, you got 2,000 words. You get what I'm saying? So in 3 months, you'll have 10,000 words. But just commit to writing 30 minutes per day. If you can hit 500 words per day, good. If you don't, just commit to writing every day. And you get that book done in no time. It doesn't take a long time to write a book, and it doesn't have to be this long, drawn out, process. Just break it down into small little chunks and get it done.
I want to say ding, 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 because that was when we need to stop and just really refocus on that. If you did just a little bit a day, right?
Yeah.
I've had people, man, let's keep it real, all the way real like we always do. And have a parking lot conversation how we do on the way to our next door. We have people all the time saying they're going to do it. I always say this thing, fitna. We're going to fitna do it.
Fitna.
By the time you're doing all of that, you could have had your 100 words a day.
Done.
While you're talking about why you couldn't do your 100 words a day.
Yeah, so bro, great point. Thank you for bringing that up. I shared something on my IG today, a book about, like, what are you doing on your lunch break?
Mm.
When I was working a job, when I was working at Walmart, I had an hour-long lunch break, and I would take that hour long and I would be writing, bro. I would be working on whatever product it is that I had. You know what I'm saying? I would be eating and working at the same time. So like we have time to get stuff done, even on your commute home. Okay, let's give them another tip. So like on your commute home, if you have an iPhone, if you have an Android or whatever, you can speak your book or speak your chapters, getting your writing done into your phone, and then you take it to rev.com and transcribe it.
That's it.
So if you got a 30 minute to an hour long ride home, you could be speaking your book into your phone, and before you know it, your book could be done. Especially if you combine that. Think about if you did your lunch break and your ride home. Wow. How fast you can get your book done.
Man, I would say this. I'm in the DMV area, you know, DC Metro, Virginia area. And I know that sometimes, man, I have recorded at the stoplight or inside of the traffic. It's been so congested. I recorded a video. I've actually taught a whole chapter. And I'm just saying that is something that's relevant. You can speak a whole chapter in your book. And you'll be surprised, though, how much that transcribes into.
Yep.
You know, you be thinking I'm just talking or whatever, a thought comes to your head, but you might have been talking for 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And what does that kind of translate into, just to give them a ballpark?
Let me do I got it in one of my presentations. I'm going to look it up while you go to the next myth real quick. I'll share two. You're on two. So go ahead and share your next myth, and then I should be able to find that.
Okay. One of the myths that I will always say is that that people think that you have to do it all. Again, I've had people that don't get out of their own way. I always say you can't press, I said it on one of my Instagram posts as well, you can't press the accelerator and the brake at the same time.
Yes.
You can't press the accelerator and the brake at the same time. So give it to a specialist, right? You know, always say if you're having a heart attack, you want to get to a cardiologist, somebody can help you. I don't want to go to an exam while I'm having a heart attack for somebody to tell me, you have a heart attack, right? I need somebody that's going to help me where I am. So you don't have to do it all. Write the book. You know, get somebody else that may design the cover, somebody else to do some other things. But I think that's the biggest thing. You got to do it all. And I hear people that want to own it all and don't want to build a team so they can do it without a team. And you really need a team.
For sure. Man, great point, bro. So like you said, bring the book to us. Once you write it, bring it to us because we have the team. We've been doing this for over 10 years. Like we got editors, we got formatters, we got graphic designers. We do the distribution, we do the formatting, we do every other step of the process, and you maintain your ownership. You get 100% of your rights and royalty, so you don't lose anything. We just provide the done for you service, and you get the credibility of publishing with a publisher. So I did find that, bro. I did find that, and 60 minutes of audio transcribed equals 6,500 words.
Wow. Say that again.
60 minutes of audio transcribed will equal 6,500 words. So you tell me how fast you can get your book done. You can get your book done in a week if you just was consistently speaking your book into your phone. You'll get that book done in no time. And the resource that we shared was rev.com. That's rev.com. You can get it transcribed for $1 per minute. All you have to do is just upload that MP3 file from your phone, and they'll transcribe it for $1 per minute. And transcribe, and you got a book. Once you get it all transcribed, put it together, take out stuff that you don't want to take out, clean it up just a little bit, and you just give it to us, and we'll do every step of the process.
Right. And that's rev.com, right?
Rev.com, rev.com. Yep.
Yeah, I got one more thing. Got to slide this bonus in real quick.
Yeah.
Bonus is another myth, man.
Let's over deliver, bro. Let's under promise and over deliver.
This myth, man. This is something, man, I hear all the time. Like this is a myth that just, it blows me away. You hear that if I write the book, that's it. I hear people all the time. Once I get the book out, that's it. And they're thinking that that's it. I got the book.
Yeah.
And it's going to magically just work wonders. I know they might be but I always tell them that you got to put the work in. Real work begins after, during. You got to put work in your product.
For sure. Yeah, that's a huge myth. Like, of course, once you put the book out, there's going to be an immediate hype, from your family or friends. But what keeps it in front of people is going to be the thing that propels you or keeps it going. So If you haven't listened to the first episode, go back and listen to the first episode. We shared a marketing takeover, and it's something that you can use over and over again to keep your book in front of people. And asking people over and over about my book, and posting that on social media, that is not effective marketing. That is not going to get people to buy your book. You have to spark interest by sharing quotes from your book, by, doing Facebook Lives about your book, by posting videos talking about your book. So getting testimonials. So you got to find ways to create content around your book to keep your book going, keep the life of your book going. So like you said, once you publish a book, that's not it. And a lot of times that messes people up. They think they're going,
that's it. They're done.
That they will come. And it doesn't work. So you have to separate yourself from the noise on the internet by providing great content.
Dope. Ooh, separate yourself from the noise. That's another whole podcast.
Hey. Separate yourself from the noise. Separate yourself from the noise. So that is the we gave them five myths about writing and publishing a book. And bro, if you cool with it, let's answer some questions. We did get some questions to come in. You want to answer some questions?
Yes.
All right. This will be a great one for you since you are the writing coach. Let me see. What's her name? I think her name is Gabby_Darling7 on IG. She says, how do I get over writer's block? So how would you suggest someone getting over writer's block?
I would say, man, that's a great question. One of the things I always tell people, write about what you're passionate about. If you find yourself always watching sports movies, you find yourself always having a passion, don't try to write against what you don't really want to write about. And it may sound simple. If you find something that's passionate, that's something that makes you say, ouch, hurt, or something that makes you go out in the snow and to go get, then it's a passion that's kicking within you, and it'll help you get out of your writer's block. Because when you start thinking about what I like to do, and there's some activities, also ask yourself what's some things that you would like to hear or like answers to. One of the things we talk about, man, you're really good with teaching people, Kelly, is that find the answer, and then finding the answer, you can create so many different things.
For sure.
Research, sometimes that sparks your interest when you just start to research about a topic. Or you find something that you're in love with. Don't try to date or write something you don't have any passion about.
Right. So basically what you're saying, if you're getting writer's block, you may be writing about something that you're not passionate about.
Exactly. You might be just forcing it. And then you also have to set time. I talk about another point is setting time, because we may want to write about something, but it's not the time in our life to do it. Or it might just be, we try to write in the morning when we know we're not a morning person.
Yeah.
All those different things. So schedule your time around when you're really jumping. Like we laugh all the time. We go on trips, man. You up early before the clock rolls. You're like up, right?
Early.
At the end of the day, 3 or 4 o'clock, I'm just getting started. 2 o'clock, I'm like, oh man. So we got to know yourself, to thy own self be true, Shakespeare, to thy own writer be true, and being able to put yourself in a comfortable time zone or a place or an atmosphere where you can write. Are you scheduling? Are you telling people to get out of the house? I mean, are you getting that alone time to be able to do it?
Yeah, I agree with that. So basically setting your atmosphere, to make it conducive with, how you like to write, or, your flow, to get into your flow. I'll add a little bit to that. If I had writer's block, or like you said, when I think about writer's block, or when I've had writer's block, I've either tried to force something in writing, or I may not have been as passionate or inspired to write about it.
Yes.
So, and when that happens, let's just say like you're doing something you have to get done, for instance, and you got to finish your book, and, you got writer's block. One thing I would say is just get up away from the computer, go take a walk or something. Go look for inspiration. Go watch your favorite TV show or something like that. Go watch some YouTube videos or something. Just get your mind away from it and then just come back to it. So that's some practical.
Or they can just turn on Books-N-Brothas.
Do his favorite club. Brothers, you will. You can turn on Books-N-Brothas. You will. But yeah, it's so funny. We are so different, bro. We're like yin and yang. Like, I am an early bird. This dude is a night owl. Like, literally, I get up early. Like, I get up at the crack of dawn, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. and this guy be just laying down. And we just work at different times. Like after, 5 o'clock, I start winding down because I've been up so long. But we just work well together, man. It was just funny in Vegas. I remember me just falling asleep on you, man. I went to this dude, like he was talking, I fell asleep mid-sentence and just couldn't go no more, bro. The time difference and just being up all day, and we were so crazy. We tried to walk the whole strip in one day, like our first day there. And I don't know about him, but I had on the worst shoes for that, so I ended up with blisters, man. So, but yeah, it's crazy.
I think I had some flip flops, shell-toe flip flops, or something. I had
something
crazy.
And you, by the time you get up, I've been and had breakfast. I've been and went shopping. I've been and did so much other stuff. You be like, yeah, bro, I'm ready to get breakfast. I'm like, bro, I done already ate. What are you talking about?
You was gone, man.
So be true to you. That's all we're trying to say. I'm gonna see if I could do one short one. Let's see. Yeah, that was another person, life_with Lexa. Check out, we just answered that. She asked the same question. How do you get over blockage? Let's see if there's another question. Okay, bro, here's one. What if I know my story and would like for someone else to write it or maybe edit it? Would I need an editor? That is from if_Nike. That's what she says. What if I know my story and would like someone else to write it or maybe edit it? Would I need an editor? Do you understand the question?
Yeah, I would say definitely. You always need an editor. I'm a firm believer that you don't edit your own work, and then you don't trust yourself to edit somebody else's work if you're not an editor. Sure. So I think you will find that professional team to help you do it, because once it's out in print, man, you got to retract it and do a whole lot of other stuff. So it's better to get it right the first time. And sometimes you might want to take a shortcut, but then that shortcut will definitely sometimes lead to a traffic jam. Sometimes you take that scenic route and you end up 30 minutes behind or lifetime behind. So definitely find a professional to do it. That's my opinion. What you think, bro?
I learned that the hard way, bro, with my Conversations of Sharks book. I let this young lady edit it, and she did a terrible job. Like, I got some terrible reviews from it and all of that. And, I just took it on the chin and kept it moving, but it didn't feel good. I'll say that. So it's best to go ahead and get someone professional. It's best to get someone that's going to do good work and has a great track record to edit your book. And that way, like my brother said, you don't have to worry about it. The good thing about, this being, America, if you do make a mistake, most of the time it can be fixed. So let's just hope it's not $1,000 mistake where you ordered a bunch of books or something like that. That's not cool. I've had to do that a couple of times as well. But like my bro said, it can be fixed. Now, the part about you knowing your stories and maybe need a writer, so Publishing Adventures Group, we definitely have writers on staff. My bro definitely writes, so he can actually interview you and write your book for you as well. So we have several writers who can interview you and write your book. Just contact us. Holla at Books-N-Bros and we'll get you set up. We can get you set up. But bro, it's been I think we provided some great value, some great content in this episode, man. Number 2, we got two down.
2 down, man. Let's rock it. Let's go.
2 down. Real quick, let's see. We did questions. All right, announcements. We are working on the date for February for Atlanta, GA. We are going to bring our Book It Masterclass to Atlanta. So be on the lookout for that. Tickets are affordable. They're only $50. So wherever we go, tickets will only be $50. And space is always limited. We always limit our classes to 25 people. Why? Because we want to give you one-on-one help and one-on-one connection. We don't want a huge mass of people to where we can't connect with you one-on-one and answer your questions and walk you through the process and share with you our expertise. Anything on that, bro?
Love it, man. We definitely love the one-on-one and the atmosphere, the creative atmosphere to provide the best value, because we have a lot of questions and we spend a lot of time pouring in those 3 hours.
For sure.
Can you imagine 3 hours of just some of the content we've been talking about?
For sure. Like, we don't even scratch the surface on this podcast. We're going to try to keep this podcast an hour, 60 minutes and below. But you need to come to our live events. If you think we're, crazy on this podcast and on video, you have no idea what we're like in person.
Don't have any idea.
Random stuff happens. Like, this dude will switch up. Like, he added a whole something extra to his title. I was watching some video from, I think our second one, the one we did in Manassas, and this guy introduced me and he says, everybody, Kelly Cole, and walked off.
But everybody know you, man.
He didn't even say make some noise for my brother Kelly Cole or nothing like that. He didn't hype him up enough. He's like, all right, Kelly Cole, and walked off. I was like, thanks for that great introduction, bro.
My bad, bro. You know you're great.
But it's all good, bro. But yeah, man, thank you so much, you guys, for listening to this podcast. Please share it. Please share it on social media for us when you see it, wherever you're listening. Just share the link and help us grow our tribe, help us grow our following. We're going to be here every week. We're not going anywhere. Like, if we're breathing, we're going to do this podcast. Like, no matter where we are in the world, we're going to get this podcast done. And if you got questions, make sure you send them in. Follow us on everywhere. Follow us on IG, Books, and the letter N, Brothas. So Brothas. So just like it sounds, Brothas. Books-N-Brothas. So make sure you follow us. And like I said, thank you guys for listening, man. We appreciate you. Make sure you share this and send your questions in. Like, send in what you want us to talk about, because we want to cover and we want to help you guys. Any closing remarks, bro?
No, man. One of the things I would say is, I think you listed where are we right now? I know we're on Spotify. Man, you can check it out.
Let me pull up everywhere we are. We're on Anchor. We're on Spotify. Let me get the rest of them. Hold on, I want to get the rest of them real quick.
Yeah. So, guys, we definitely want you to hit us on all these outlets that he's about to bring up.
So we're waiting on iTunes to approve us. Going back to our next, the thing we talk about all the time. Like, we're not waiting. Like, we're going to get it done.
That's right.
Like, we're going to get started. We're going to wait on iTunes. Whenever they jump on board, and get behind this. But yeah, we're on Anchor. We're on Breaker. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on Pocket Cast. We're on Radio Public, and we're on Spotify. So follow us and listen to us on all of those particular networks. And also check us out. The videos that we record and put them on YouTube. So if you like us on YouTube, make sure you're subscribing and you're getting signed up. So, man, thank y'all once again so much for listening. Bro, Thanks. Anything else?
No, you ain't got to get it right. Just got to get it going, right?
One day you'll get it. you don't.
That's my Kelly Cole, right. Mr. Kelly Cole impression.
There you go. You don't have to get it right. You just got to get it going. That's a perfect way. We're going to end every episode with that quote, bro. You're smart. You smart.
Love it. Great minds think alike, bro.
All right, guys. See y'all next week.
I have a book in me. This is my friend, my brother.
Thank you, Kelly and Oliver.
I'm a multi-award winning best-selling author.
If you want to start a new business, I suggest you write the book on it.
God woke me up at 2:30 in the morning and I wrote a book.
Some of you got books already. Some of you got novels already.
The lead generator is the book.
You write a book, you leave a legacy to your children.
And I hope you guys listen to these guys so they know what they're talking about.